the beginning, you're just a young thing. Just another young creature of the universe, and you hardly know you're a girl. You're so busy learning to walk and run and ride if there's a horse handy. Or if not, the limb of an apple tree. Rejoicing in what you've got and looking forward to what you will have, whether more or less. More, you hope. You can't help it. Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents.
It's so dreadful to be poor.
I don't think it's fair for some girls to have plenty of pretty things and other girls nothing at all.
We have father and mother and each other.
We don't have father and won't for a long, long time.
Well, there's a war on, and I think it's splendid of father to go as chaplain, as he's too old to be drafted and not strong enough to be a soldier. I wish I was standing guard outside father's tent this very minute. But I'm not. So be it.
I suppose we have to humor her.
Well, you don't have father, but you have me. Father said I was to take his place, and so I will. And what we're going to do, girls, is have our own kind of Christmas.
You aren't father.
Well, no, but I'm to take his place, he said. A homemade Christmas, I say. A Christmas of our own invention.
You pretend you're father because you wish you were a boy.
So what if I do?
And you want any excuse to boss us.
Oh, fiddlesticks! The play we've been rehearsing, girls. Why don't we present it to Mother for Christmas?
Yes!
It's almost ready. If you know your lines, Amy.
Well, I do know my lines.
All right. We'll have the play. And that's not all.
Last Christmas we had plum pudding, cranberries, oysters, and presents all around. This year we have corn pudding with raisins. Raisins, mind you! At least Joe and Meg are old enough to go out to parties, but Beth and I must stay at home with our raisins.
Well, I won't be going to any parties. My white muslin dress is worn out, and Joe spilled tea on my tarlatan.
Joe spilled tea. Joe spilled tea. Don't peek, Amy.
And it's not just the tea stain. The dress is torn. Torn and mended in 3 places with the seam giving out the back.
Well, pretend you're a poor foreigner just blown in from a storm, or a spy under orders to attend parties.
And what is so wrong with parties?
Don't get her started, Amy.
Well, people ask you to dance is what? And you're hurt if they don't, disgusted if they do, and then you step on their feet.
Boys.
Oh, yes, unless you're a boy yourself. Then you can stand with your back to the wall and frown down on everything.
Which is what you do anyway, isn't it, Joe?
Well, if you don't dance, Joe, at least you could flirt.
To flirt? If you're going to flirt, Meg, I'll have to stop you. Because before you know it, some young man comes calling. What's that on your nose, Amy?
It's a clothespin.
If you're going to put a clothespin up there in the breeze, Amy, you may as well wash a handkerchief and hang it.
Some young man comes calling, and then
comes calling to try and marry you. The worst thing.
I don't see why it's the very worst thing.
Doesn't that hurt?
I don't care if it hurts. I want my nose to be extinguished, not flat and stumpy.
Extinguished?
In every feature, delicate and extinguished.
You mean distinguished, Amy.
They marry you, and then you cook and sew and take care to be sweet and pretty, in every feature extinguished. And your adventures are over and you may as well be dead.
Listen, Joe, Marmy married Papa.
That's different. They're our mother and father.
Well, don't worry, Joe. If I have to look ragged at a party, I'd really rather stay home.
But I must go dressed raggedy every day to school.
School is not a party, and yes, you must.
But we're meant to go out and see the world, Amy. I only mean it's good to be home at Christmas. The world's full of places and fascinating people. What's the point of sitting at home every day?
Nobody sits at home but me.
Oh, do you think you'd like to try school again, dear?
Oh no, I simply can't bear so many faces.
Well, you're bashful, Beth. And you don't merely sit at home, you work very hard as Meg or I do. You play the piano, which is truly beyond me. You play wonderfully well, and it takes you to other places, doesn't it? You and I go to all the really good places. To the halls of legend in the days of yore, to Beowulf in the Mead Hall, and...
The bloodthirsty Grendel!
Yes, or to Fairylands. I'm writing you another story. And when this one's done, I'll have a whole book. And the story begins?
Long ago, far away in a distant land.
Yes, and one of these days, Bethy, I intend to take you on an actual adventure. Not in book or in music, but a real pack-up-and-go journey far, far away.
Do you really mean it, Joe?
Yes, I do. I'll take all of you. Now, how's this?
A Christmas present!
Who's it for? It's for me, isn't it?
Amy!
Where'd you get it, Joe?
I bought it with my Christmas dollar.
You were supposed to spend that on yourself.
Oh, I did. I spent it to please myself.
It's not for that new boy, is it? Old Mr. Lawrence's grandson? I know you like to watch him ride his horse.
Well, I'd like to meet him, but I'd hardly give a present to a boy I haven't met.
I've guessed who it's for. You are too far afield.
Oh, it's for Mother!
Yes, it's for Marmee. I thought that would make me happiest. We know Christmas isn't only plum pudding, and we ought to show Marmee that we know it. So, let's get cracking. There's our Christmas play to rehearse and carols to sing, and there's one present for Marmee.
2, I bought her a pair of gloves.
And I bought her new handkerchiefs.
Oh, bravo, Meg! Bravo, Beth!
And I kept my $1.
It's all right, Amy, it's yours.
It's just I haven't decided how to spend it. I thought perhaps a box of Faber's drawing pencils. You may think me selfish, but if I'm ever to be an artist, I must have pencils. If I'm too young for parties, I can at least have pencils. You have no idea how boring it is to be made to stay at home when others are going out to parties. It really is exstrupiating.
Excruciating.
What a glorious smell from the kitchen. Must be pudding. Hannah, how's the pudding?
Don't shout, Joe.
Rehearsal, everybody! Boo, 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 boo. The Witch's Curse, a Christmas opera.
What has Christmas to do with it?
I'm working that in. Hannah, would you come watch our rehearsal? The fainting scene isn't right.
Hannah, what are you cooking?
You saw everything that went into it, dear.
Just corn pudding with raisins? Smells too delicious.
It's what we have, thanks be to God.
Watch this, Hannah. When Amy faints, it's supposed to be shocking. A great lady has fainted and all that. So, a bell sounds, the curtains fly apart, the forbidding tower, there. The beautiful Zara stands in the tower. Zara. Amy!
I'd love to help, girls, but I have to watch the pudding. It's all we have, so I want it to be perfect.
How soon may we eat it, Hannah?
Heavens, not till evening. Now you stay out of the kitchen, Amy.
You stand here, Amy. Put your mind to fainting. Oh, Zara! Beautiful Zara! I give you one final chance or you die.
Rodrigo, my hero.
I'm not Rodrigo, I'm Hugo.
Are you the hero or the villain?
Well, which do you think? I'm pointing a pistol at you. We have to perform this tonight, Amy. Are you at all acquainted with the story?
Don't worry, I know my lines.
Then speak them then.
All right, let me get set. I'm fainting.
You can't faint into a chair. You have to just drop. Look here. Clasp your hands so. This is your line, Amy. Rodrigo! Save me! Save me! Ah!
Rodrigo. Eek!
She sounds like someone is sticking her with pins.
Amy, are you even trying?
Yes, I'm trying, and you're not so brilliant. You don't look like any Hugo the villain.
Well, wait till I put on my big red boots. Observe the glint of my sword.
And you sound like you've got a frog in your neck, and I don't want to rehearse this stupid old play.
A frog in her throat, Amy.
I'm bored to tears with it, even if you did write it.
Is that so?
Amy, a play can't be any good without rehearsal.
No, it's too late. When the audience laughs, don't blame me.
They won't laugh. They'll say I'm pretty.
Marmee and Hannah will say you're pretty. And that's all you want out of life, Christopher Columbus.
It's not, and don't swear.
I'll swear if I like. And what's more?
Ah, don't whistle, Joe. It's boyish. I detest rude, unladylike girls.
And I hate niminy-piminy chits.
Joe.
Oh, it's just talk, Bethy. But I won't be an old poke forever.
An old poke?
A fellow with nothing to do but knit. Where are you going?
I have an errand.
But you can't go now. The pudding's almost done.
Really, girls, you're both to blame. Amy, sometimes you are entirely too prissy.
And how is Joe to blame?
You have an errand? Well, then you best be on your way.
You come back directly. It won't be a long lecture. I know exactly what Meg will say.
You don't have to tell her, Meg. She already knows.
It's time you left off boyish tricks, Josephine.
Josephine!
Oh, you best not call her Josephine. Aunt March calls her Josephine. I don't think she'll ever answer to Josephine.
Now that you're tall, Joe, now that you're tall and turn up your hair, you must remember that you are a lady.
I am not. And if turning up my hair makes me one, there. In the beginning, you're just another young creature of the universe, and you hardly know you're a girl. You're so busy learning to walk and run.
And ride if there's a horse handy.
Beth, you're not helping.
Well, and suddenly they tell you not that you're grown, but that you're a lady. And you best be fragile, so someone will pick you out and claim you for his own. Like a doll from a toy shop shelf.
Well, perhaps, but what else can you do?
Make my own living.
You'll work dreadfully hard.
Well, I look forward to it. I'll do just as much as I'm allowed. I wonder what that Lawrence boy is doing now.
Preparing for Christmas alone with his grandfather.
That does sound lonely. I guess I wouldn't change places with him tonight. Wish we could meet him, though.
Well, we can't. He's rich and we're poor, and there's no proper way to meet.
No proper way, no.
Now, Joe!
Oh, here's Marmee! Strike up! Stoke the fire! She's home! 3 cheers and a hallelujah!
Hurrah, she's home!
Well, Merry Christmas, Marmee! Let me take your cloak.
Glad to find you so merry, my girls.
Happy Christmas, Mother March. The pudding's almost ready.
Sit here.
It's not my birthday.
You'll see.
Where are my slippers?
Just you wait.
Where's Amy?
She's on some mysterious errand.
Here I am. Merry Christmas, Marmee.
Merry Christmas.
Now, open this first. You need them.
Slippers? New slippers?
First-rate army issue.
Joe dear, thank you. And from Meg.
Gloves.
Lovely. Children, how did you manage this?
You know what we did?
You spent your Christmas dollars on me.
Oh, I hemmed them myself, but the stitching's crooked.
Handkerchiefs hemmed from your own hands? Thank you, Beth. And from Amy.
It's the large bottle of cologne, not the small one, though I was terribly tempted by a box of drawing pencils. But instead, see? It's the prettiest present of all.
Oh, really?
Now, Amy.
And I'm truly trying not to be selfish anymore.
Pudding!
You've all been so very generous. Supper?
And here we are.
Hurrah for Hannah!
Hurrah for the pudding!
And applesauce and hot tea and cream.
Girls, there's something weighing on my mind. There's this homeowner 5 children just around the corner. Well, I stopped in to see them just now, only to find all 6 of them and the newborn baby huddled in one bed to keep from freezing. For they have no fire, no food there either.
Oh, well, it's good you told us before we began eating.
Yes, we'll give them our supper.
Our whole supper?
Oh, Mother March on Christmas Eve.
I know, Hannah, but they have nothing.
Yes, we will go.
All right, I'll carry the pudding.
Oh, good, and firewood. I chopped a stack of firewood.
Oh, let me carry the bundle.
Oh, capital, Marmee. If you and the little girls take supper to the Hummels, Meg and I will set up for the play.
The play? What play? Might there be a hero in the play? Might there be a villain in red boots?
It's a new play, Marmee.
Don't tell her the plot, Beth. Promise, Amy?
I'll not reveal a word.
Oh, look, it's the Lawrence boy.
Oh, Joe, come help me here.
It's about to begin. Beth is playing the overture.
Yes, I am.
The time of year was Christmas. There is a lady named Beautiful Zara. I love her so much, I'd kill her, I'd die. She loves a fellow who's called Rodrigo. The witch's curse on Rodrigo, I cry. Curse Rodrigo, curse Rodrigo. Who is invoking the witch's curse? I, Hugo, the villain. Give me a poison to kill Rodrigo and a potion, a love potion to make Zara love me. I hate wicked Hugo. I spit in his eye. Hugo shall take his own poison and die. They call me Rodrigo. And may I present the beautiful Zara.
Rodrigo, Rodrigo.
Don't sing, Amy. You know you can't sing.
Rodrigo, you know I can't sing.
Yes? And is there anything else you'd like to say?
Nothing comes to mind at the moment.
I must leave the rest of the scene to your imagination. Intermission, ladies and gentlemen.
Isn't Amy pretty?
Ugh, and Joe is so good in both parts, you hardly know she's the same person.
It's just a masterpiece, a masterpiece.
It's starting.
Carry on, Amy, all the way to the top.
This doesn't feel very steady, Joe.
There's someone coming to the door.
What's the matter out there in the audience?
Hush, Mother, I'll see who it is.
Thank you, Hannah. Sorry, Joe. Please proceed.
And what are you doing anyways, locked up in that tower? Is it that your father has locked you up there to keep me away from you because I don't have enough money to marry you? Is that the reason?
Yes! Yes, that's the reason.
Then, shall we run away together?
Rodrigo, my hero?
I'll take that for your answer.
No! Where do you think you're going? And you blackguard, you penniless rogue, you knave.
Don Pedro, my father! I told you so, I told you so!
A sorry performance. Oh my word, look who's here. The end.
Old Mr. Lawrence, our good friend.
Please forgive the intrusion. Miss Marjorie, to give your supper to the poor.
Oh, how splendid of you. Children, this is Mr. Lawrence from just across the way and...
My grandson and his tutor.
I do admire your boots, Miss March.
Call me Joe. You climb trees, don't you, Mr. Lawrence?
I do, and I'm not Mr. Lawrence. Call me Laurie.
I'm Brooke, the boy's tutor.
Margaret.
Margaret. So pleased to meet you, Margaret.
Just plain Meg. Call her Meg and let's be ourselves. I did so hope we'd have an excuse to meet you.
And this is Amy.
Will we be losing you to college soon? I see you pegging away at your books.
Not for another year or two.
Oh, well, I'm glad you won't be rushing off now that we've met.
We had to meet. You all seemed so jolly. Couldn't stay away forever.
Wouldn't it be capital to have you for a brother? I'll wager we'd have real adventures. Don't you wish you were at war?
Of course.
Look, Joe, smoked chicken. Look, real, actual mincemeat.
Dear Mr. Lawrence, how can I thank you?
As it happens, I like music.
Beth, listen to this.
I love music. And sometimes I hear someone in this house play when I sit by my window.
She's a bit bashful.
You play beautifully.
But I'm afraid the old piano won't stay in tune.
Oh, won't it now?
Merry Christmas, Aunt March.
I heard you had no presents, and so I... Well, I see there is apparently no special need. You seem to do quite well on your own. I gather you have no need of help from... relations.
Aunt March, our kind neighbor, Mr. Lawrence.
Of course, we are acquainted. Charmed as always, Georgetta. Beth is playing piano for us. She plays with real feeling.
Yes! I know all that!
You climb trees too, don't you?
Don't answer that.
Hush, Amy. If you want a real lady, there she is.
Josephine, come here to me.
Whatever are you wearing? Is this what you call your Christmas best?
Georgetta, you must sing for your supper. Beth.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel.
And the genie said, I grant you no money nor pretty dresses, but instead the spirit to trust your own efforts. There, that'll show Meg. Oh, drat, can't show her till tonight. She's off overnight to one of her parties. The end. Signed, Josephine March. All done. A whole book of stories. Bethy's going to love it. Well, my word! Laurie said his grandfather might, and they've gone and done it! Bethy, this is your day! Oh, Marmee, Bethy!
Marmee, the piano!
Oh, my heavens!
Do you think it's real?
Why don't you go and find out?
Oh, there's a note there, Bethy. It's to you.
Here.
Oh, glory be! It's yours.
Go ahead, Bethy, go ahead.
For the little musician. From old Mr. Lawrence. And what's this? From Joe?
It's not even her birthday.
Open that later.
My whole book of stories from Joe. Oh, thank you, Joe, thank you! But how can I ever thank him?
Unless I'm very much mistaken, he is hovering near a window waiting to hear you play.
What shall I play?
Oh, look, here's Meg. She's supposed to be at her party.
Her ladyship's home from the wicked world.
Home early, Meg.
Yes, I've had a beastly time.
Oh, come now, Meg. I can't believe that. Do you realize that Meg knows all the dances? She kicks her heels, she bats her eyes, she fans her low-cut gown.
Wait a minute. Meg doesn't own a low-cut gown.
And what was the sparkly stuff in that glass, Meg?
Oh, be quiet, Laurie! What would you have me do? Stand with my back to the wall in my dowdy frock? Meg the freak from the poor, eccentric, bookish family?
Are you ashamed of us, Meg?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm so happy to be home.
Oh, Meg, I'm the one who's sorry. Bethy, you have your piano. I'll go congratulate Grandfather.
It's all right, Laurie. Thank you for fetching me home.
Goodbye, then. Oh, Joe, this should fix things. Open it now. It's for today.
I didn't mean any of that, Joe. Marmee, I want to fess up. It's true, I romped, I flirted, I drank champagne!
You flirted? But we discussed that. We said no flirting.
I let them dress me up in borrowed frippery.
You wore a low-cut gown?
And then standing at the punch bowl, I started to feel peculiar. All the gossip. They all think that you have plans for us, Marmee, that you want us to know Laurie because he has money, so he'll marry us. I mean, one of us.
How peculiar. It's not peculiar, it's ridiculous. You don't have plans for us, Marmee. Oh, I'll tell Laurie, won't he shout?
No, you mustn't tell. Have you no pride?
Of course she won't tell.
All right, I won't tell.
Listen, Meg, shall I tell you who you are? You are the fine young girl, the daughter of a family not rich nor inclined to follow fashion. And as it happens, Joe, I do have plans for my girls. I want my daughters to be accomplished and good, to have a happy youth, to be well and wisely married.
Or to be splendid old maids.
That's right, Joe. And either way to be cherished and admired, ready for duty and capable of joy. My dear girls, I am ambitious for you, but not to have you make a dash in this world merely by marrying rich men. Beth, shall we see about tea?
I've had a beastly time. Ow!
Meg, did you really flirt?
I tried. I don't know if I succeeded.
You won't get silly on me, will you, Meg? You won't turn all stupid and blank and pine after young men? Because Laurie's invited us to the theater this very afternoon. Here's my kind of social occasion.
Don't shout, Joe. We're sitting right under your mouth.
Nose, Amy. For heaven's sake, what, Joe?
It's for me and Meg. Laurie's invited us to the theater this very afternoon to see the Hall of the Mountain King.
What do we have to wear?
Wear whatever. We want the show with an audience.
You just go off and leave Beth and me at home?
I want to be at home, my piano. Oh, Mr. Lawrence sent me a new piece for the piano.
You must let me come too, Meg. I'm so bored and have nothing to do. I'll ask Laurie. He'll say yes.
You can't go, Amy, so don't be a baby about it.
Well, suppose we take her. Mother won't mind.
Well, it's rude. After he invited only us to go and drag Amy in.
I shall go. Meg says I may.
You can't go, dear. You weren't invited. Gloves, Joe.
I can't wear these. Pour lemonade on them and both are spoiled.
Oh, here, quick. Take my good glove and wear it and hold the spoiled glove crumpled in your other hand. fashionable. I hope.
What ho, girls?
Oh, here's Lori.
I shall go.
We don't have time for this. We're coming, Lori.
You'll be sorry, Joe March, see if you aren't.
Fiddlesticks, Amy. Just drink your tea.
Good evening.
Good
Hello.
evening.
Hello.
I'm sorry, Amy. Would you like to play checkers?
Beth, Amy, I'm going to the village on errands. Would you two like to come?
I think I would.
No, thank you.
Well, goodbye, Amy.
Goodbye.
That was glorious! The sword play and the fire effect.
Such fun. Thanks ever so much, Lori. Mr. Brooke.
John, please call me John.
Goodbye, Lori. Goodbye, Mr. Brooke.
See you in a bit, Joe. Skating.
Right.
Goodbye.
Hello, Amy. Hello, Amy. Someone say hello, Amy.
Of course, dear. Hello.
Amy, you've done something. I can see it in your face.
Oh, tell us about the play. We're dying to know.
Well, it was called The Hall of the Mountain King.
We know what it was called. You think you know everything, don't you? You think you can see right through me.
You've dumped my drawers out, haven't you? You've messed with my pen and papers.
No, I haven't. The play had a story.
Well, first the prince comes on in satin robes. Oh, and then these little elves all in green.
The drawers are fine. Nothing wrong with my writing stuff.
A prince and elves and what else?
Beth, where's your book? The storybook that I finished for you. You've got it, haven't you? You know where it is!
No, I don't!
That's a lie! Where is it?
I don't know where it is because it isn't anywhere!
What? You've burnt it! You've burnt it up! You wicked, wicked girl! I finished that book! I can write it again, and I will never forgive you as long as I live!
Amy, how could you?
You know how mean she was!
That's no excuse. She can be sorry for being mean, but you can't bring her book back.
Oh, Joe, your lovely storybook. I'm sure she's sorry.
Well, all right, I am sorry. I was angry and I flung it in and it burnt up. It was just too late.
It doesn't matter if she's sorry!
Don't talk about me like I'm not in the room! Meg!
I won't come for you, Amy.
What's all this?
Oh, Marmee, Amy's gone!
Joe and I went to the theater and Amy wanted to go too, but wasn't invited. Joe was sharp about it, and so
I threw Joe's book into the fire and I feel like I murdered something and all I can say is, I'm sorry.
I see. Well, Amy, you can't just cry I'm sorry to save yourself from blame. You'll have to tell her properly.
I am sorry. I'm truly, terribly sorry. Please forgive me, Joe. I'm so, so sorry.
I will never forgive you. She doesn't deserve it.
Lori's coming to the door. Come to take you skating, Joe.
I can't. Tell him what happened. I can't see anyone.
Go with Lori, dear. Get some fresh air. Don't think, just go.
I shall go too.
Amy, do you really wish to make things worse?
I'm not invisible. I want to show her I'm sorry.
Joe will want to forgive her. They'll find a way.
Come in, sir. Look who I found at our door.
Uninvited. A rogue and a beggar.
More a king, at least in this household.
Thank you. Sit down, dear girl. I didn't come to frighten you. I came to hear you play.
Mr. Lawrence.
Oh, no, please, don't say a word.
Dear Mr. Lawrence.
Play.
What would you like to hear, sir?
Oh, anything. It's very nice.
How kind you are!
Is that our Beth?
Knock me over with a feather.
Mother, Meg! Amy? What is it, Lori?
She's all right. Let's get her straight to bed.
She fell through the ice.
Oh my word.
Shall I fetch a doctor?
I'm fine. She was following us and Lori pulled her out and they tried to...
She's all right. She'll want out of bed in a minute.
You did it all, Lori. I skated far ahead, though I knew she was behind us, and if she did die, it would be my fault.
I think she's all right, Joe.
Come, my boy.
She's fine, really. All rosy again.
It's my dreadful temper. You can't guess how bad it is. I'll do something horrible someday and spoil my life, and everyone will shun me.
Joe, listen. You think your temper is the worst in the world, but mine used to be just like it.
Yours, Mother? Why, you're never angry.
I've been trying to cure it for 40 years and have only nearly succeeded in controlling it. I'm angry every day of my life.
You are, aren't you? When you fold your lips together.
Oh, do I?
Yes, you do, but you don't storm and shout. You have some secret.
No, not really. It's a mystery. Myself sometimes so bitter and at other times able to control myself. And when I contemplate that, it makes it easier to forgive.
You mean grace?
Yes, and I mean life itself. It's mysterious what makes people do things that annoy, petty things, awful things. Often I don't understand.
You understand. It's best not to explode.
Yes, my darling. Here's Amy now.
I'm fine. I'm so sorry, Joe.
Amy, I'm sorry too.
I heard the littlest girl fell through the ice.
I'm all right now.
Oh, but to fall through the ice? How frightening!
Well, it was dreadfully frightening. The edges of the ice were sharp and jagged. The water was cold as Antarctica.
Really? Cold as Antarctica.
I believe she's recovered.
Excuse the intrusion.
Oh, Mr. Brooke.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Margaret.
Margaret!
Miss March. I hate to interrupt. I'm here to deliver this telegram.
Father?
Dear God! Father's sick at the front. I must go to him.
Let me see. How shall we afford it?
Hush, Joe. Be calm, girls. Let me think.
No savings? No, I thought not. Nothing set aside for a rainy day.
But of course you aren't to worry about money.
If there is any call for money, James, I shall be the one.
Georgetta, surely such a time.
At such a time, there is family pride. They are family, you realize, even if the resemblance is not apparent.
Aunt March, you are so very kind.
My traveling bag.
I'll fetch it. Let me go with you.
Hush. Joe, I'll need you here.
Mrs. March, I'll accompany you. You cannot travel alone.
Sir, if I may be excused from my duties, let me go instead.
Yes, dear Mr. Lawrence, send Mr. Brooke. I'll feel much safer knowing you're here keeping an eye on my girls.
So be it.
Thank you, Mr. Brooke. Meg?
I suppose I should take the girls home with me. It's a large home, but it contains many valuable and fragile items.
Aunt March, you are so very kind. Ow! If you tell them to be kind, they will be kind.
Suppose I should take just one girl. A small one with lovely manners.
Aunt March, you are most kind, but I fear it may cause jealousy and resentment if you took just one, and you can't take all. I fear it's not practical.
No, I fear not.
Your kindness, however, will never be forgotten.
Amy, you've outdone yourself.
Handkerchiefs, an extra shawl, and soap.
But Marmee, you won't be here. You're always here, and I will miss you.
You mustn't give us a thought, Marmee. We'll carry on.
Go on to your dear husband. I'll be mother.
And I shall be...
Father, uncle, and grandfather all in one.
Amy!
Girls, you'll be well. You'll be good to each other.
We'll be gilded angels.
We will, we will.
And this afternoon, he sat up in bed. Marmee says Father's sitting up in bed, Joe. The danger's almost past, she says. Stop sweeping, Joe. You swept twice today already.
You're right. We've been gilded angels for more than a month. Scrubbed, dusted, swept, darned a million socks,
And I miss you all. But thank God. And John Brooke for his constant assistance. John Brooke. Don't you think he's kind?
Why shouldn't he be kind? The chores really all are done, aren't they? I'm going to the garret to work on my war story. Oh, hello, Beth.
You look tired, Bethy. Where have you been?
I'm off to war.
Oh, bless you.
Joe, the Hummel's baby has been sick, and so Hannah and I went to take them some porridge, and I feel not quite right.
Don't you, dear? Let me have a look at you. I don't believe you have a fever.
Here's a cup of tea. Where's Hannah?
Hannah? Oh, Hannah went back with the doctor to his office.
Oh, is Hannah sick?
No, she'll be straight home from the doctor's.
You do seem a little off, Bethy. Would you like to curl up in my garret bed? I'd love to have you. I can scribble and you can drink tea.
I'm going to write Mother. Any messages?
Oh, don't tell her I'm sick.
No, we won't. You're just tired.
Then afterwards, I may write Mr. Brooke.
You mean Brooke, my tutor?
Oh, Lori, don't eavesdrop. We'll find Joe in the garret.
What, is she back at her scribbling? Good. Hello?
Hush, Lori. Beth's not feeling well.
Are you sick, Beth?
No.
Maybe you do have a bit of a fever.
Hannah?
Have you put Beth to bed? Here's the medicine the doctor gave me.
Oh, she's with Joe in the garret. Who's the medicine for, Hannah? Are you ill?
Why, it's for Beth. Hasn't she told you? She's been exposed to scarlet fever.
Oh, no! Oh, my heavens!
You've had it, haven't you, Meg?
Yes, and so is Joe, but not Amy. Oh, here's Amy. Amy, you won't like this, but we have to get you out of the house.
Why?
What is it, everyone?
Medicine, dear. Haven't you told?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't even think of exposing others. Joe, you've had it. Lori, have you had scarlet fever?
Is
Yes,
that
I
it?
have.
Is that it, Bethy? Scarlet fever?
Aunt March will take Amy.
Oh no, please don't send me away. Oh, Amy, I'm sorry. She is pernickety, but you manage her very well.
Yes, I understand her.
You have to go right now, Amy.
I'll take Amy over in grandfather's carriage.
Goodbye, Beth. Goodbye, Amy.
Scarlet fever, Beth?
This afternoon. Oh, I can't tell it.
The Hummel baby was so sick, and so I went to fetch the doctor, and while I was gone, the baby died.
The baby died in my lap, Joe. But I won't get the fever. I can't get the fever, not with Mother away.
We won't need to worry your mother. I've nursed others through the fever, Bethy, and we'll nurse you.
The baby was restless, Joe, and I was talking to her.
Were you?
And then she got quiet. I didn't want her to be quiet. I'll take the medicine, Joe. I won't have the fever.
Come, let's get you to bed. You'll have whatever you have. Any better?
Hello, Joe.
Oh, I didn't mean to wake you. She's awake, Meg. Would you like me to read to you?
I wish I could see Amy.
So do I, but if she comes to the house, it'll be too tempting and she'll have to come in. We'll have to be content with letters.
Letters. 1 for Joe, 1 for Beth, and 3 for Meg.
Thank you.
And I've got a funny secret.
Tell us the secret. We could use a laugh.
Well, I don't know. Beth, you've impressed everyone else with your fever, but not me.
Lori!
I mean it, Beth. I'm not impressed. I want a different show. Show me Grendel with his arm torn off, dragging Beowulf down to the watery depths. That's better. Now Cleopatra driving a herd of elephants.
Actually, I've got a secret myself.
Do you? You tell first.
Well, you won't repeat it to anyone.
Not a word.
All right. You know that war story I finished? I left it with the editor of the paper.
Oh, Joe, how wonderful.
Don't hush, it won't come to anything.
It will come to something. I know it will. We'll see it in print, and won't we be proud of our author? I must hurrah, hurrah for Joe.
Don't hush. Now, your secret. Play fair.
I know where Meg's glove is.
In her drawer.
No. Brooke has it. She dropped it in the carriage the night we went to the theater, and Brooke said he'd return it to Meg, but he didn't. He put it in his pocket.
Is the glove plain or lace?
Lace.
That's not Meg's glove, it's Joe's. And I'm afraid it's spoiled. It has a big swatch of lemonade.
Doesn't matter. He thinks it's hers, and he carries it around everywhere with him. Isn't that romantic?
No, I think it's horrid. Bethy, you look a bit...
Tired. I think I'll rest my eyes a minute. Do you hear music?
Yes, that's grandfather playing by the open window for you, Beth. Shall I tell him you like it?
Oh, yes.
And when are you going to play for him again?
Not today. Off with you, Lori.
I thought you'd be amused.
At the thought of someone coming to take Meg away... I'm warning you, Lori. Not another word.
You'll feel better when someone comes around for you.
I'd like to see anyone try.
Well, I believe I'll slink home.
Should we call the doctor?
He's been already. He'll come again tomorrow.
Listen, Joe. Laurie's joined his grandfather playing. However he offended you, I'm sure he's trying to beg your pardon.
Of course I forgive him. I always do.
You think Beth can hear it while she sleeps?
I hope she can.
I wish Marmee were with us.
Yes.
Marmee, I'm so happy you're home.
I came the instant I got Joe's telegram.
Once I knew you were coming, I felt sure she'd improve.
I'd like to think my love was that powerful.
When will Father be well enough to travel?
Not for some time yet.
Let me, Meg. You rest a while. I'd do anything to make her better.
So would we all, Joe, but it's out of our hands.
Marmee's asleep. May I close my eyes a minute, Joe?
Please do. I'm quite awake.
Joe?
Oh, yes, Beth, it's me.
Hello, Joe.
Oh, Beth, do you recognize me? Are you with us again?
Joe, I...
Beth, please stay with us. I will love you ever so much more than before. Just don't go. I'll miss you too terribly.
Oh, and I'll miss...
Yes? What will you miss?
I'll miss... Oh, the piano. And the sun on the trees.
You must think of what you will miss. You must fight.
We'll miss you, Joe.
No, don't say that. Listen, Beth. I'm going to take your place. I'll do everything that you do, and you won't have to do anything. Yes, I'll be the stay-at-home daughter and care for father and mother always, and then there will be you and me. Think of how nice that will be, please.
Shh, don't wake the others.
What about our journey? I promised to take you to lands far away. I meant it.
I know you did. It's just that I'm so very tired.
There must be a place where you can get better. Somewhere with more sun where we can be together.
There is a place, Joe, but I think I have to go alone.
Don't say that. I can't. Oh, Beth, listen to the music. Laurie and his grandfather are playing for you. Do you hear? Goodbye, Beth. Goodbye. Mother, Meg! She's gone.
I've been practicing Beth's carol. I can't play very well, but Laurie's helping me.
Amy, which is it that father likes to eat? Sweet potatoes or white potatoes?
Sweet potatoes.
Of course.
He won't arrive home today, Hannah. His letter said he'd arrive at Christmas.
Well, that's a mere 2 weeks away. I've cleaned his study, dusted all his drawers, and look at this.
Father's pipe.
Yes, all nice and clean.
It smells like his tobacco.
Isn't that a nice smell? Let's see. What else to do?
Mr. Brooke!
Forgive me for barging in.
You're home, Mr. Brooke. Is father with you?
No, he sent me on ahead, but I come bringing his love and my love and our extreme sorrow over Beth.
Yes, thank you.
Is perhaps anybody else at home?
Yes, Joe's home. Shall I call her?
No. Just tell them all I'm home.
Your umbrella.
Who is that?
Mr. John Brooke.
And father?
Not yet. Father sent Mr. Brooke home ahead of him.
Did he ask for me?
No.
Did John say anything else?
Well, he said he brings his love.
And then you said goodbye and he went home.
Yes, but he forgot his umbrella.
Oh, drat, where is it? I'll take it to him. Since when do we call him John?
Who calls him John? And after all he's done to help us, I'd think you'd like him better.
Well, if you call him John, he'll start to go romantical and carry
Oh,
on.
nonsense.
Well, if he did, what would you say?
I would simply say that I am too young, that he is very kind, but we must simply be friends as before.
Oh, good. That's stiff and cool enough.
And then I'd walk with great dignity from the room. Mr. Brooke! Help, Mr. Brooke!
Forgive me, I seem to have left my umbrella.
Come, Amy. There's something burning in the kitchen.
What? No.
Oh. Remember what you planned to say?
Hello, Margaret. What did you plan to say?
Mother will like to see you. I'll call her.
Your mother's not home. I saw her in the village. Are you afraid of me, Margaret?
No, of course not. Welcome home, Mr. Brooke. How can I be afraid of you when you've been so kind to Marmee and Father?
Margaret, while I was away, your letters meant so much to me. Lovely letters, so full of home.
Yes, we're also grateful to you, Mr. Brooke. I can't imagine how to thank you.
Shall I tell you how?
Oh, no, please don't.
I won't trouble you, Meg. I only want to know if you care for me a little.
I don't know.
I can wait, and you could choose to discover if you do.
But I don't choose. Oh, I'm all flustered. Please go away and let me be.
What's all this?
Hello, Aunt March.
I came to call on your father.
Father's not yet home. I'm so surprised to see you.
That's evident. And who was that?
It's Father's friend.
And what is father's friend saying to make you blush like a peony?
Mr. Brooke came to get his umbrella.
That boy's tutor! Making a proposal!
Hush, he'll hear you.
Do you mean to marry this Mr. Frooke? If you do, not one penny of my money goes to you.
I shall marry whom I please. And you can leave your money to anyone you like.
Highty-tighty! You'll be sorry when you've tried love in a cottage and found it a failure. This Mr. Broke is poor and has no rich relations, has he?
No, but
He knows.
he has many warm friends.
He knows you've got rich relations. I suspect that's a secret of his liking.
Aunt March, how dare you? John is above such meanness. My John wouldn't marry for money any more than I would. We are used to being poor and we are willing to work. I shall be with him and he loves me and...
Will I wash my hands of this whole affair? Don't expect anything from me when you are married. I'm done with you. With all of you forever.
Oh,
Thank you for defending me. So you do care for me?
I didn't know how much till she insulted you.
So you won't send me away? But let me stay and be happy? May I?
Yes, John.
Shall we tell them all at Christmas? I don't think the secret will keep. Congratulate us, Sister Joe.
Oh no! Amy! Somebody do something! John Brooke is acting dreadfully and Meg likes it.
It's going to be a romantic Christmas.
Ugh.
Come now, Joe, you're just grumbling out of habit. Put your book down. We aren't little children anymore.
I don't like the look on your face.
Look, there's something I must say, must ask you.
I have a suspicion what it is, Lori, don't.
I must. We've got to have it out, and the sooner the better for both of us.
Well, I don't plan to listen.
You must. Think of all we are to each other. We do everything together. Joe, I've loved you ever since I met you.
Well, I love you too, of course, Lori, but not love with a capital L. That's
But
not.
I mean love with a capital L.
I never meant to entangle you. And
I
was a-
want to be entangled.
But you know my views on. Ugh.
Marriage. I've heard it rumored you're against it.
Well, best of luck then.
I know what you'll say. But girls are so strange, you never really know what they'll do. I can't go on like this without an answer, so I must ask. Will you, Joe?
Don't say it.
Marry me, Joe.
I can't say yes truly, so I won't say yes at all. I'm happy as I am, and I love my liberty too well, and not only that, but
What? Say it all.
I have to stay home with mother and father. I can't go off on my own and leave them. I promised Beth.
Why? Joe, why? You aren't made for that.
I promised! And it's not only the promise I made to Beth, but I don't think I'll ever marry.
Oh, there'll come a time when you care for somebody and love him tremendously and live and die for him. You will. It's your way, and I shall just have to stand by.
I doubt that very much. I've done my best. I will never marry you, and the sooner you figure it out, the better for both of us. So now we've had it out.
Just a moment. Where are you going, young man?
To the devil!
What's the matter, Lori?
Joe! Sir,
I've been waiting to meet you, Lori.
Mr. March, I'll leave you to your family, sir.
Only if you promise to return this evening and help us celebrate Christmas.
I'll do my best.
Girls, someone's here to see you. Meg, Amy, Joe.
Yes, Mother?
What is it? Oh my heavens, Father! It's Father!
Hello, my dear Amy. Let's look at you, Meg. Where is she? My lieutenant. Guess who's home, Joe?
Oh, Father! Oh, is it really you? Oh, Father, you look absolutely well.
And you. You look fierce and wonderful. How's my Joe?
Me? I'm fine. Perfectly fine. Fine.
You don't seem quite. There's something.
Everyone's leaving. Beth is gone, Meg is going, and now I've sent Lori away. I can't marry him. I really can't.
No, perhaps not.
Well, I'm too young to marry. I always meant to do things.
Well, say no for now. What sort of things will you do?
Oh. I'll sweep and work in the kitchen and iron the curtains and clean the carpets.
And what about adventures?
I'll have Hannah teach me to cook.
What about artistic accomplishments?
I could put violets in the window box and train a rosebush over the garden gate.
What happened to writing?
Nothing. I don't care for it. It's childish.
Very strange. I don't know this young woman. Something of a drudge, I'd say. Rather an old poke.
Well, don't say that of me, Father. It's just... I can't help it.
What do you mean you can't help it? I believe you could do anything you set your mind to. Really, Joe, you're testing my patience.
No. Please, ignore me. Don't pay me any mind.
Joe, forgive your old father. Something terrible is weighing on you. You really must tell me. Come, fess up.
Well, it's just... I promised Beth that I'd stay here with you and Mother and give up my wildness and my silly writing.
Ah, I see. And how did Beth respond to these promises?
She was too weak to answer. I don't like to remember it.
Well, I'm going to answer for her. Mother and father will take care of each other. Birds were meant to fly the nest. If I stayed home with my parents, would I be standing here with my daughter, Joe?
No, I suppose not.
You're growing up. There's no stopping it. May as well go ahead. Beth would have liked to see you grow up. She loved you. Your tenderness, but also your plans and ambitions. And as for your silly scribbling, why, Beth would call it writing, wouldn't she? She was always so proud of your writing.
Yes. When I think of it, I believe she'd want me to continue on.
So go back to your writing, then.
Yes, I will. I'll go on and do it. I'll go on and write whole books and be a writer.
Good. That's my Joe.
And now we're finally all together again.
Yes, we are.
Dear nephew, at long last, all together.
I thought she was done with us forever.
Of course not. You just don't understand her.
Oh, no, play. You must play now.
We miss Beth very much, don't we? But it's nearly Christmas. And I think Beth would want us to celebrate.
I hear the oldest girl is getting married.
Why, yes, she's accepted this fine young gentleman.
I don't imagine she has much to wear. I'd like to provide the trousseau, not to choose any of it, or in any way interfere. In fact, I'd like to do it quite privately, between us two. I wouldn't want her to feel beholden.
How really very kind of you.
Here's my boy. Have I told you the news? I'm sending him off to Europe for a season. Yes, before he goes off to college, I think he ought to see Italy and France.
Oh, Lori, Italy and France.
I thought she'd accept them. Girls are a mystery.
Who can say? She knows her own mind.
Come, Aunt March, Meg, John, shall we sing?
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel.
So we have nothing behind our backs for you. But you should come a little quicker to get the thing that's not behind our backs. Gracie, you have been so very incredible and amazing for us, especially for us seniors these past 4 years. We love you with all of our hearts, and we know you have worked so hard to get this together for us, and we got a little something for you.